you, good morning. How are you doing this morning? With your gut. Say, I'm better than good. All right? So, good morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
Very good.
Okay, that was better. Have a seat. Thank you so much. With all that said, my name is Shauna Dorian. I'm your Mistress of Ceremonies, and I'm so happy to be a part of this event again. I am the excited founder of a company called Biz Knox. Biz Knox mission is to engage and train students and staff to communicate confidently and to behave professionally and civilly. So I help people in businesses shine. That was a shameless plug, but you gotta get it in when you can, right? So I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. Welcome again to IHM's Career Connections. We are honored to have both youth and parents, young adults and leaders come together to support and engage in learning and development in the community and make connections that have a positive impact individually, collectively, academically, and personally. So let's begin the program by making some connections amongst ourselves. So here is what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to give you some instructions, and then after I give you the instructions, then you will proceed with what I have asked you to do. So making connections is so important. Regardless to whatever you heard about you can do it by yourself, you cannot. You need to have people in your corner who can support you, and the only way to do that is by getting out and making those positive and impactful connections. So I will ask everyone to stand up, smile, make eye contact with someone, and go and introduce yourself and shake hands with someone that you have not talked to before. Tell that person your name, if you're in school, what school you go to, and what one thing would you like to get out of today's Career Connections? So I want you to stand up, look around, make eye contact and smile, be nice. Notice someone who you have not met and go introduce yourself to that person. So walk around, find someone, shake hands, introduce yourself, your name, what school you go to, and one thing that you hope to get from today's program. Okay? You all can go. We can continue on in the program. So I know that introducing yourself to someone that you don't know takes courage, and it takes getting out of your comfort zone. But I want you all to realize that when you stay in your comfort zone, you are in a position where you're not succeeding. So you don't succeed until you get outside of your comfort zone. And there is a saying that says that your comfort zone is your failure zone. That means if we continue to do what we've always done and not challenge ourselves to step outside of the box, we'll never be able to do and fulfill all the things that we could do and fulfill and achieve. So it is important to get out and introduce yourself to people. I challenge you, the schools that you go to, if you come across someone who you look at and say, that person is doing such a wonderful job, go introduce yourself to that person. Make yourself, make it a priority to yourself to surround yourself with good people. Put good people in your corner that can help you be who you want to be and achieve what you want to achieve. So thank you all for participating in that exercise. Today we are delighted to have a very distinguished group of panelists from SLCC. They are here to provide information on the benefits of pursuing higher education, and they are here to share with you the admissions process and other work programs that help to build strong, educated workforce in our own community. To tell you a little bit about IHM Career Connections, I invite Ms. Jaylene Joseph, our youth coordinator, to the podium.
Thank you, Shauna. I will be brief. Good morning, everyone. How are you today?
I'm better.
Better than good, great. So I just want to thank everyone for your participation here this morning, the panelists and everyone who organized, and those of you that are here to get the message from our panelists. I just really appreciate and thank you just from the IHM Youth Congress and our youth ministries. I am the youth coordinator, and as youth coordinator, I meet with all youth ministry leaders to plan and organize things like this. And I just want to say hats off to everyone that has organized this event, Aaron and everyone else, Jakuri and Angela, who have put together such an incredible event. This is the third, and there are more to come, so look forward to those, okay? IHM Youth Congress, we have a vision and a mission to encourage and create opportunities for our youth and as well as youth in the community. So we look forward to continuing to do that, and just look for us, because IHM Youth Congress, we're working for you. Thank you. Enjoy the program.
Thank you, Ms. Jaylene. So now we're going to start with introducing one of our panelists. I'd like to introduce Ms. Rachel Alexander. She is currently the Associate Director for Admissions. She holds a master's degree in business administration, a bachelor's degree in business management, and she's currently working on a doctorate. A busy, busy lady indeed. You go, girl. With a great passion for helping people find their educational path, she has over 7 years of experience working in admissions as the Associate Director of Admissions at South Louisiana Community College, aka SLCC, and she is an adjunct instructor at SLCC. Please help me welcome the very busy and smart Ms. Rachel Alexander.
Good morning. So how are you doing this morning? I love it. I love it. First, I want to thank each and every one of you for attending this morning. And I also want to thank everyone who invited SLCC here for this event. This is my first time, and I hope it will not be my last time coming. And so I'm excited to share with you some of the things that we have going on at SLCC. Sometimes some of my students tell me I tend to talk fast, so if I say something and you need me to repeat it, by all means, please raise your hand. So I see a bunch of wonderful young people here this morning that I'm excited. Do I have any seniors? Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. So we're going to talk about furthering your education, hopefully with South Louisiana Community College. As mentioned, I am the Associate Director of Admissions. So when you are ready to take that step into college, my office is the first office, we call it the first line, that you will come into. We are the ones who help you get started on your educational path. So I'm going to show you a couple of things on our website on how to put in your application. I'm going to talk to you about financial aid. I'm going to talk to you about how much it costs. I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of attending South Louisiana Community College. As I sit here and I look at these wonderful young people, I think about when I graduated from high school. I'm from Brobridge. My mom had a 3rd grade education, taught herself how to read. I have a brother and a sister that's 14 and 15 years older than me, and I'm a 1st generation college student. We're gonna have some 1st generation college students in here? Yes, yes. So I made the decision as a senior that I told my mom I wanna go to college. She said, great. She said, but there's not a whole lot that I can help you with. You're going to have to fill out your own FAFSA financial aid. And back then when I went to school, you did the bubble. The paper and pencil, you mailed everything in. Your college application was not online because there was no internet. You called the college you wanted to go to and they sent you an application. So I made the decision, I went to college, my mom dropped me off and she said, there's not a whole lot I can do for you, but I'm gonna give you this piece of information. I'm going to grant you the power to ask questions. She said, if there is something that you don't know, you ask somebody. It was just said a few minutes ago. We can't do it by ourselves. And it's true. You ask. So if I saw someone sweeping the sidewalks or cutting grass, excuse me, I need to get to Rougeau Hall. Where's Rougeau? I ask. I'm not sure about my financial aid. I ask. So you young people are lucky because you actually have people who have gone through what you're about to go through, and you have the internet, and you have Google, and you have all these wonderful people that are here today that's going to help you when you're ready to make that transition from high school into college. So one of the things I want to talk to you all about is college affordable? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. When I went to college, tuition was $1,500 a semester. I thought that was a lot of money. Now, I would love to be able to go to college for $1,500 a semester. So I never take anything away from the four-year colleges. I never do. I'm a product of a four-year college. But if I could go back and do it all over again, and SLCC was around, that's where I would have started. I would have started at South Louisiana Community College. Why? The class sizes are smaller. So they're just like the classrooms that you have now, 20, 25 people. That's what we have. We have instructors that get to know you on a first name basis. That when you walk down the hallway, they're like, hi Jordan, hi Karen, hi Rachel, how are you? How's it going? If you're not in class, they reach out and find out why you're not in class. They want to know what's going on with you. They're very hands-on. They're very approachable. My first microbiology class I went to, 399 people were in the classroom with me. Do you think I wanted to ask a question? Do you even think the instructor knew who I was? No. But that's not like that at South Louisiana Community College. And so what you're going to pay for is the same education that you would pay for at a four-year college. Can anybody tell me how much they think our tuition is? Just give me a random number. Close, 2102 and some change. Every semester. Every semester. For 4 classes, 3 credits, 12 credit hours, you're a full-time student. Should you decide to add 1 more class to it and make it 15 credit hours, your tuition is still $21.02. That's affordable. So you can get an associate's degree for under $10,000. You can get a technical diploma, which most of our technical programs are 2 semesters or 3 semesters, still under $10,000. And then should you decide that you want to go to a 4-year college, we offer 2+2 programs with ULL, Nichols, and Northwestern. 2+2 simply means that when you enroll in one of the 2+2 programs that we have at SLCC, you graduate, your credits will transfer to that college, and then you'll have 2 more years left to get your bachelor's degree. 2102. So, how am I going to pay for college? We can help you with that. We have a financial aid department that is ready to help you with your financial aid. So right now, if you're a senior, you should have taken care of completing your FAFSA. Once you do that, then we all know that you're connected to your phones. You start checking that email because we're going to email you. We're going to let you know that we received your application. We're going to let you know that we have received your financial aid. We're going to let you know all those wonderful things. Because besides going to college, the next question we always ask ourselves, how are we going to pay for it? Well, we can help you with grants. We have a Pell Grant, which you do not have to pay back. We have Go Grants, you do not have to pay back. We have SEOG grants, you do not have to pay back. We have student loans. Of course, you have to pay those back. But we want you to know that we have ways for you to pay for school. Scholarships. We have over $100,000 worth of scholarships. That is on our website. There's a little assessment tool that you can take, and you ask you a couple of questions, and it'll point you in the right direction for scholarships. There's money out there, guys. There's free money out there, guys. We just need you to go on ahead and take advantage of it. On the back table, I have brochures that list all of our programs. We have 9 campuses. So we have a campus near you. We have Ville Platte, we have Morgan City, New Iberia, we have Crowley, we have Opelousas, we have Lafayette. We have a campus wherever you we have a need. So I would encourage you to go on ahead and look at our website, but I also wanted to bring up our website so that way I can walk you through our application process, which takes about 5-10 minutes, guys. Seriously, it does not take long. And on top of that, we have no application fee. So it is free for you to go on ahead and put in an application. So when you get to our website, you're going to click on admissions. And this is the page, this is our admissions homepage. It will tell you steps to enroll, which I also have a copy at the back table. And it'll tell you apply for our registered nursing program, medical lab, medical assistant, helicopter aviation, we have welding, we have general studies, we have criminal justice, we have business. We have so many programs. And I know we have a program suited for each and every one of you in here who's ready to take that educational journey. And I'm here to help you make that decision. So when you get to our website, the first thing you're going to do is click Apply Now. And it's going to ask you, are you a first-time freshman? So if you just graduated from high school and you've never gone to college before, you're a first-time freshman. It's going to ask you if you're a returning student. So we may have some individuals in here who may have attended SLCC before. You can choose returning student. Transfer student. If you have college credit from any other college, then you would be considered a transfer student. And once you choose one of those student types, it'll click to apply now. You'll create an account and it'll take you straight to the application. Once you're done with the application in 24 to 48 hours, you'll get an email from us telling you that you completed the application. We're going to ask you for some documents. Very simple. We need high school transcript, ACT scores, immunization records. Young ladies, that's it. If you're a young man, then we need a copy of your selective service. That's it. That is it. And then your application will be fully completed, and then you'll get an email from us inviting you to orientation. We call it Student Success Live. And we call it Student Success Live simply because it is hands-on. It is very hands-on. You're sitting in a computer lab. Admissions is there. Financial aid is there. Student accounts is there. And lastly, advisors. Because really, when you come to orientation, you want to walk away with a schedule in your hand. You want to schedule those classes. And that's what we do at Student Success Live. You are not taking this journey by yourself. We are with you from the day you put in that application until your first day of class. And always, always know that admissions, our door is always open. So if you have questions, you have concerns, you can always come to admissions. We have students who are ready to graduate and they still come back to admissions because they have questions. So always know that we are here to help you. Now, once you put in that application, your next step should be financial aid. Financial aid. If you need to talk to someone, if you need help with completing your financial aid documents, then by all means, on the financial aid page on our website, you can go on ahead and schedule an appointment. And someone will be more than happy to help you. It is never too early to do your financial aid. I cannot stress that enough. It is never too early to do your financial aid. We want to make sure that you have turned in all your documents We want to make sure that you have signed everything that's needed to be signed, because we want to make sure that your money is there for you when you get to school. I mean, I'm not sure about everybody else, but I don't have $600 to just, pull out because I need to make a payment arrangement because I waited too late to do my financial aid. It is never too early. Yes, we do have payment arrangements if that is an option. But let's not let that be an option because you waited too late to do your financial aid. So how do I know what I'm doing? How do I know if I've turned in everything? Then the next email you'll get is those wonderful credentials to our system called LOLA. And so LOLA is going to become your friend once you enroll. When you get your credentials to LOLA, LOLA will tell you if we have all your financial aid documents, how much financial aid you've been awarded. It'll also tell you how much your balance is. Once you schedule your classes, that's when you see your bill. LOLA will let you add a class, drop a class, see your grades. LOLA will let you make payment arrangements. LOLA will become your best friend while you're at SLCC. So when you come to orientation, we let you get very familiar with LOLA because we let you log in. We let you move around. We let you play around with LOLA. LOLA, you cannot break LOLA. Let LOLA become your friend. So, if any one of you in here are interested in visiting our campus, we have 3 wonderful buildings. Then by all means, reach out to me. My card is in the back, and you can schedule a tour, and we'll be happy to take you on a tour of our campus. One of our pride and joys that we like to show off when students come for our campus. I have any students in here thinking about going into nursing? Nurse? You'll be amazed at our nursing department. You'll love the virtual hospital that we have. We love to show off all aspects of our campus. We'll introduce you to welding, automotives, the culinary program. We have all these programs, guys. So I encourage you to take one of the brochures that's sitting in the back that lists all the programs we have, all the different types of campuses, the areas and the locations that we have, and get familiar with it. I'm going to be here the entire time, so by all means, when we have the break or the Q&A session, feel free to ask me any questions that you may have about enrolling. Even if you're not a senior and you're interested in dual enrollment, I can show you how to get in touch with your counselor so we can get you for dual enrollment. But I want to thank each and every one of you for welcoming me here. And like I said, if you have any questions or answers, I am here the entire time. So I want you guys to have a great day and enjoy this session here.
Thank you so much, Miss Rachel. So one thing that I want to remind you all is something that she said. She said, the power to ask questions. You all have the amazing power to ask questions to things that you don't know, to get the help and the assistance that you need. At the end of this program, there will be a question and answers session. If anything comes up, if any questions that you have come up, write those questions down so that you can take full advantage of this opportunity to get your questions answered. So I'm going to share with you all one tip. I told you all that I teach people how to behave professionally. When you are invited to any meeting, now who in here, by a show of hands, would like to be taken seriously? Who in here wants other people to take you seriously? Tell the truth. Let's see. Raise them high. Okay, right. We all do. If you want to be taken seriously, when you're invited to a meeting, what you should always do is come prepared with pen and paper to write. Why should you come prepared? Number one, people will take you seriously. You'll look like you are prepared to work and ready for business. Number two is that if there is something that you need to remember, you can write it down. Regardless of what you think, as focused, as big as those minds are, you can't remember everything. So you can write down those important things that you would like to remember. And thirdly, the reason why you need to have a paper and a pen is because anytime you are present at a meeting like this, it gives you the opportunity to jot those things down that you need to jot down. So you look professional, okay? You are prepared and people can take you seriously, and you get to write down and keep track of those notes that you want to take, the lessons that you want to take with you after you leave, so it doesn't make this event a waste of time. So don't wait. Thank you for reminding them, Rachel, not to wait. Now is the time, because the more we wait, the more we'll put things back and won't get it done. And ask questions about those scholarships, y'all. I encourage you to ask questions about those scholarships. So we're gonna move on. Now I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Kalita Johnson. Kalita says, determination, inspiration, and motivation. Those are three key components that she has used and continues to use as a guide in her journey. The Natchitoches, Louisiana native relocated to Lafayette, Louisiana to spread her wings and take flight, soaring towards a mission of personal and professional growth, success, and community outreach. Currently, Kalita is an academic success coordinator, very important, in the Center for Minority Excellence, and she's an adjunct instructor at SLCC, where she partakes in the molding and making of well-rounded and successful students. In addition to her professional success, Kalita is a strong community advocate. She has served as the youth leader at Progressive Baptist Church and is dedicated to being a positive role model for today's youth. As a member of Sigma Gamma Rho sorority, she has provided support to local schools and various organizations, from donating school supplies all the way to reading to preschoolers. In her artistic realm, Kalita was a cast of the member of Haley, a Mahalia Jackson story screenplay, as well as a praise dancer of Anointed Praise Team. Overall, Kalita is proud to support the community, and she is very proud to support the youth of Acadiana. If you can, join me in welcoming Miss Kalita.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, I sound good on paper, don't I? I didn't know I really did all those things, but I did. How many of you really truly pat yourself on the back and say, wow, I'm good, I'm successful, I've accomplished some things. So again, my name is Kalita Johnson. I like to walk around because I don't like to stand in one place. I work with college students, so I have to be on my toes because sometimes they can move a little quick. They like to bob and weave. So again, my name is Kalita Johnson. I am one of two academic success coordinators in the Center for Minority Excellence at SLCC. So let me tell you about this grant. This is a special grant. We are one of two grants in the state of Louisiana. This grant was written because at SLCC, it was founded that our African American students were not successful. They were not passing their remedial classes in English and math. They were not passing their college level courses. They were not graduating. They were not transferring to a four-year institution. So we had faculty and staff to write this grant. And lo and behold, we got it. So this grant is very, very special. Again, our target population is African American students. Can I discriminate against any other student that is non-African American walking in my doors? No, I cannot. However, my target population is African American students. Those are my babies. I am 39 years old. I do not have any biological children, but I have over 100 babies. They're either younger than me or older than me, but they're my babies. So let's talk about SLCC. Can you get in? Yes. Why? Because it's open registration, open enrollment, excuse me. So you do not have to have a specific ACT or SAT score. For me, I went straight into Northwestern State University. Was it scary? Yes. Did I think I couldn't make it? Yes. I don't look like I thought that, do I? But I did. That doubt was in my head. I was grateful to have a wonderful support group, and that was my family and close friends. They encouraged me and reminded me that yes, I deserve a good education. Yes, I can go to college. Yes, I can graduate. So at SLCC, if you can click on Students for me, love. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Center for Minority Excellence, and whether if you go to SLCC, UL, McNeese, NSU, whatever college you go to, I need you to get involved. Why? Studies show if you get involved in at least one organization, that your grades will remain satisfactory, that you will stay in college, and you will graduate. And once you get involved, you meet people, you network, you create a bond. Oh, thank you, you are good. What's your name, love? Thank you, Camille. I like Camille. Okay, so on our website, I will refer to Center for Minority Excellence as CME. So to be eligible for our program, number one, you do have to be enrolled at SLCC, a currently enrolled student. You do have to have classes. You have to be African American, and you yourself have to want to improve your educational and personal outcomes. I personally do not want a student to be forced into this program. I need students who want to be in my program. Why? If you can go to our services on the left-hand side. No, you're good, Camille. So we provide several services. Intrusive academic advising, that's me. I don't play with my babies. I look nice, but I don't play with my babies when it comes to education. So I sit with them and we talk about their educational or academic goals. I need to know, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to take classes at SLCC and transfer? Are you trying to graduate, transfer, and pursue your bachelor's? Are you trying to pursue a technical diploma? What are you trying to do? And do you know what the one response I usually get? I don't know. I'm just here. My mama told me to come here. And so that means we have to talk a little bit more in depth about what you want to do with your life. Also, we have career planning and assistance. So what we do, we connect and network within the community and within the college, and we have our students take what's called Career Coach. It is an assessment that these students answer questions about their likes, their dislikes. And then there's an outcome. The outcome, it kind of tells them what jobs they most fit. And so we try to connect them with individuals in the community and at the college with those fields that they're interested in. Also, we have mentoring support. I'm 39 years old. I really don't listen to rap music. I can care less. But you know what? I have to be in tune with my students. So if they're talking about Kodak Black, I have to go look that up and see what they're talking about in this song. Or if they're talking about this new movie that came out, I gotta be on point, right? And so we do have a male academic success coordinator who's African American, because I can't teach a black man how to be a black man. I can teach him how to treat a woman, but I can't teach him how to be a black male. And so him and I tag team, and we truly do support our students. Tidbit, I usually get off, I work from 8 to 5, but do you really think I get off at 5 o'clock? No, I usually don't start work at 8. It could be like 6, 5, 3:30 a.m. It depends on my students, because I make it a text message, because we use Google Voice, because we know our students don't like to read. They don't like to check their emails. They like to text. And so if they're having a problem That's where mentoring support comes in. Unfortunately, I had a female student text me at 3:30 in the morning and say, hey, Ms. Johnson, I need you to pray for me because my daughter just got shot. So I had to fall on my knees at that moment. It couldn't wait, and I had to pray for her. That's mentoring support. A lot of my faculty and staff may not know what I do early in the morning or late at night. I had to go to UL because one of my students graduated from SLCC, transferred to UL, and guess what? She received an academic scholarship from the Black Association at UL. I supported her, and she appreciated that. So know that CME staff, we're not just faculty and staff there, we're family. Also, financial literacy support. We encourage students or remind them to fill out their FAFSA. I have a lot of students right now. I have to say, hey, 1920, I need you to fill it out. That's for the fall. If they don't understand a question, I may walk with them to financial aid and we discuss that. Because I know sometimes that my students don't know exactly what to ask or how to ask it. But I'm there to support and guide them. Tutoring assistance and support. I sucked at math in college. I was so grateful to have wonderful math instructors. But I also know my students, they don't like to ask questions. They don't like to raise their hands. They don't like to stay after class. They don't like to go to the office hours of their instructors. So we provide tutoring as of now in English and math. Gratefully, we're getting someone that can tutor in biology. So these are the services we provide to our students. Again, to be a part of CME, you have to be a currently enrolled student at SLCC. Also, we do early warning and referral services around midterm. The instructors and the students, we may talk, a collective meeting to talk about their grades, if they're passing. A D right now is not passing at SLCC. You need a C or better, and I need you to bring those grades up. So if I have to sit down and discuss something with an instructor and that student, we will, because I'm not afraid. I'm there to support you. Workshops, seminars, and presentations. We just gave a workshop on test anxiety. How many of you have test anxiety, or do you even know if you have it? That's when you get kind of clammy. You get nervous doing your test, you just get blank. We had someone come and talk to our students about tips and strategies to relieve that anxiety. I am kind of tired because we just came back from Clark, Atlanta, because we took 16 students on a college tour in Atlanta, Georgia. We do things like that for our students. And so if you do decide to attend SLCC, please come and see us at CME. I am more than happy to assist you. There are some days that you're gonna like me. There are some days you're not gonna like me. And that's okay, because I still love my students. Because I'm gonna be all up in your face. Because I'm supposed to be, okay? Before I hand over the mic, I just want to remind you all that you have the power. I need you to empower yourselves and know that if you have any questions, if you need paper, we have some up here. I would like for every student, parent, write at least one question down. Please know that no question is stupid. So if you are interested in attending SLCC or just need to know information about college, write it down. If any of the panelists have some paper that you'd like to share, Ms. Erin, can you help pass some paper out to someone? At least write down one question. It could be, do you have my major? It could be, what requires me to enroll in a remedial class? It could be, what does transferring mean? It could be, how do I get involved? Any of those questions, please write down at least one. Again, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kalita. So, I don't don't know about y'all, but after hearing Miss Kalita and after hearing Miss Rachel speak, they just come across as being very warm, very welcoming, very relatable. So these are people that you don't have to be intimidated by. They love you, they love their students, they want their students to succeed. I wish that I had people that could relate to me back when I was in college that I knew about. I didn't know about it because I didn't get involved, right? But when you know about these people, when you know that they are for you, that they want to help you, why not get involved? Thank you, ladies, both so much for reaching the students at their level, for loving them and for helping them reach their goals. We appreciate that very much. Another round of applause for Ms. Kalita, please. So now allow me to introduce Mr. Adam Davis. Adam Davis has been working for SLCC since 2016 in the Corporate College Department. As an intern, the Corporate College is the division responsible for industry-based credential training and short-term career training. Adam's daily tasks include, but are not limited to, meeting with potential students to identify their needs and managing incoming and outgoing calls for student inquiries and follow-up. Adam is also an alumnus of SLCC, where he graduated last fall with an Associate of Science in Business. He has been featured on the main SLCC website, I saw you, Adam, I saw it, okay, and used as a commercial model for student recruitment campaigns. The next phase in Adam's life is focused on pursuing a higher education as he works towards a Bachelor's of Science in Management at the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Please help me welcome Mr. Adam Davis.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd like to start by thanking IHM for allowing me to be one of the panelists and to represent SLCC. I'd also thank Ms. Shonda Moffitt and Vincent PA for recommending me. So again, my name is Adam Davis. I'm an intern at South Louisiana Community College. Again, I'm part of the Corporate College Department where we promote short-term, non-accredited certification training. But I also wanted to talk to you, just to provide the testimony of a student who's been to SLCC, who graduated from there recently, and to let you know things that you have to look forward to once you decide to transfer over there as well. But the first thing I want to talk about is just provide a little bit of my background and where I'm from. I'm originally New Orleans born. Growing up, when I was a lot younger, and I'm talking in elementary school, I didn't take education as seriously as I have now. In fact, I actually flunked out of the 5th grade because I could not keep up with my peers. Multiplication, math was one of my hardest subjects, and not being able to keep up with everyone really deterred me at first. In fact, I went into homeschool because it was just too hard for me to have to sit back a grade and watch as those that I grew up with, that I went to school with, move on to a different level, and I'm still in the same place I was then. And this was in 2003, and a couple years after that, that's when Hurricane Katrina occurred. I was also in the thick of it. That uprooted the lives of my family. It was really a traumatic experience where I was 12 years old at the time, so I had to do a lot of maturing, and it was really difficult. And once that happened, we eventually relocated here to Lafayette, but it was a huge rehabilitation process for me. In fact, not just flunking out of the 5th grade at such a young age, but then losing my roots and where I was born, people that I knew, was the biggest challenge. And I had no drive. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I spent days at home, just really doing nothing. I was in limbo, so to speak. It wasn't until 2016 when my family noticed, my grandparents who raised me, my family noticed that I'd sit at home each day on my computer studying. I was studying at the time because I just had got a chance to recuperate and figured out, and I was always saying to myself, I never spoke aloud about it, but I did want to go back to school and to see what was out there for me. but they noticed I was studying my math. I used Khan Academy, Read Theory, things that free resources that was available to me because, you know, again, it was hard for me at first. And they noticed what I was doing, and they sat me down and they said, Adam, you know, what do you want to do? Why don't you go into adult education, take a test, try to get your high school equivalency, which is now called the HiSET. And initially when I started, again, I had no confidence. I really wasn't positive about it. I was the person that kept making excuses on myself. I said, well, you know, if I didn't do that good back then in the 5th grade, you know, how am I going to do now? I'm much older. I've been out of school for so long. You know, I didn't have a lot of the same resources and support, you know, like a lot of you have now. And so I had to work extra hard to get to where I am today. You know, just enrolling in adult education allowed me to meet a lot of wonderful people. That's how I met Ms. Shonda Moffitt, who's from Louisiana workforce. She was actually one of the first few people that I spoke to when I started the adult education program. She sat me down, she told me what this program entails. They don't just help me get a GED, but they also help me find work, and then if I wanted to at my own discretion, I can pursue higher education, which was unreal at the time. So I started in January. 3 months thereafter, in March, I graduated. I got my HiSET. I'm feeling a lot more confident because I had a great teacher and a great classroom full of a lot of people that were in the same situation as I was. And when I saw that they were struggling the same as I wasn't just looking to get ahead or put anyone else down. I wanted to see that we all succeed because that benefits, you know, not just us or me, but it benefits the entire community as you know, young Black African males. So I've actually, again, I've been a student of SLCC for 2 years, but I've actually been an employee of SLCC for 2.5, almost 3 years. There was this great program again at Louisiana Workforce called Youth Experience. They actually recommended me to go work at SLCC, and that's where I got to know my Department of Corporate College, a lot of wonderful people there that, you know, because it was a short thing. We had 200 hours, about 2 months to work at SLCC, and the faculty there, they didn't just see me as someone who's a temporary guy just coming in, working his hours and leaving thereafter. No, they said, Adam, what's next for you? What do you want to do to help you grow and help better yourself? And I said, honestly, I don't know. They helped me fill out my FAFSA application, submit my application for the admissions aspect of it. And they say, Adam, go into general studies, you know, take that first semester, take your core classes, you know, get accustomed to it and see how you do. You just never know until you try. And you know, honestly, I did exceptionally well that first year, and this is in 2017. I got 4 A's and a B, so you know, that's just exceptionally well beyond what I thought I was doing back then. But you know, and it's been a blessing. And I'm going to get more to this, but my corporate college department, and again, Ms. Shonda at Workforce, you know, they've changed my life. SLCC is a wonderful college. I could not recommend it to any, you know, I could not recommend it to you. It's, you know, you get a lot of one-on-one, a lot of people there to help you succeed. I want to just serve as a living example of that as someone who flunked out of the 5th grade, you know, so, you know, no excuses, don't let that hold you back. But I also want to talk to you about just the aspect of like what it's like being a student at SLCC. You know, I want to help guide you and help see what I can do and just give you some useful information. But you know, that's just a little bit of my background too. So the first thing is selecting a major. Again, initially when I started, I didn't know what I wanted to major in. I'm sure a lot of you are still trying to figure that out. I do suggest you try general studies. That's the broadest of the majors there. They'll again have you take your math, your English, but the best thing to do to help guide you and help learn what you want to do, let's say you're taking a psychology class, which is what a lot of people enjoy. Talk with your instructors, talk with your peers, see what they're interested in. You learn by communication. Communication is key, as Ms. Rachel and Ms. Kalita mentioned earlier. Talking, asking questions. I recommend sitting in front row so that way you can really capture the subject. You really never know what you may be interested in until you take that subject. Also, let's say, and this is an example, it also helps while you're in school to take on some type of job that can kind of complement that, like an experience. Say if you wanted to go to the RN or the LPN program, we have free CNA classes at SLCC that allows you to become a nurse assistant and to work part-time at, say, a nursing home. So you get that hands-on experience, and that lets you know that's something that you want to go into as a career. And challenges that you will face while you're in college, one of the most important ones, and I'm going to have a kind of funny story to talk about. Again, Ms. Rachel and Kalita mentioned that we do have financial aid at SLCC. Again, applying as soon as possible is the best thing you can do. Me being hesitant at first, I procrastinated, and funny story, I actually filled out the wrong FAFSA form for the wrong school year. So we're talking about a week before my classes started. By the grace of God and Jesus, my family had some money on the side. They were able to work out a payment plan with the college, and because the people knew me, they worked with me. Otherwise, I would not be having starting that year, just just out of procrastination and a little bit of anxiety, so to speak. Also, developing good habits. These are things that you should be doing now, but I just go over them. Go to sleep, go to bed on time. Make sure you take notes in class. Also, stay focused. Don't let any outside distractions keep you from the most important thing. Also, remember your deadlines in classes, and manage time efficiently. That's the biggest one. College is not just about, it's an investment in yourself and in your future. The degrees that you have and whatever certifications you may obtain to complement them will always be with you. That is what leads to the gateway to higher paying jobs and higher income. And at least some more employment opportunities. You never know what field you may want to go into. And the biggest thing is, you're serving as a role model for your family, for your cousins, for your siblings. Just know that what you do will inspire them and keep them on track. And you may be in a position as I am, speaking to someone a few years down the line and encouraging them. So just know that. And it was a pleasure talking with you. I hope to talk to you in the Q&A section and pick your brain and see what you're interested in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam, for sharing your story with us. I love to hear stories like that. Adam shared with you all something that it takes a lot of courage to share with people. It's a failure. But he also shared how he rose above that adversity. So we can do one of two things when we experience failure. Because let me tell you, failure is a part of life. We will all experience failure in some way, form, or fashion. But how we use that failure will determine whether or not we are successful or whether or not we continue to fail. So you can use your failure as fire to propel you to reach that next level, or you can use it as an excuse to keep you down. Thank you for being a wonderful example, Adam, and for sharing with us those wonderful tips. You inspired me. Thank you very much for that. So thanks. Really good takeaways. So really quickly, before we get into the intermission, I would like to just recognize a young lady named Destiny. Destiny is from the ECA, the Early College Academy. She's a high school student within South Louisiana Community College, and the name of the program is called ECA Early College Academy. Destiny, would you like to share a few things maybe with some of the students and parents and young adults here today?
Hi, my name is Destiny, and I go to ECA. It is a dual enrollment program, and it's hard. You start off the school year, and as freshmen, and you think, hey, this is going to be easy, and it's not. The minority in our school is very small. I think altogether, we're like 10. And that's not just including Black people. There's like a couple Asians, but our senior class, there's just 10 minorities. And we started the school year off with 120 people. And we're down to 57 at this point. And majority of them are white. And it's hard for us because we think, we're just small. We can't make an impact. And there's many of us that are succeeding with like classes at the end of the school year. And our classes are not as easy as you think. You have to work hard. I think the first 2 years is the hardest that you'll ever feel like you can get. It's there. And but it helps you move to like SLCC, because once you've taken all those hard classes, SLCC really helps you. Like, they're small, and so is ECA. So you can talk to your teachers, your professors, the people there too, and it helps you like really get into college. I'm going to LSU in the fall, and I feel like because I've taken those classes, because I went to SLCC, ECA, I can really like transition to college like in the easiest form I could ever think of.
Thank you so much. Yes, there's a question. So first, let me just share really quickly. ECA is a high school that is actually located inside of SLCC. Once these students graduate from high school, they actually, I believe, obtain an associate's degree as well, correct? Okay, so the question was, what is required to get into ECA?
Well, we've changed the standards many of times. It used to be very hard. You have to have a basic on your LEAP scores from 8th grade, and you would also have to have a really high GPA, but they've lowered it to, I think, like the 3.0, and you have to have the basic. And there's no beginner's test, so it's easier to get in, but you can also locate them on like school of choice, or just talk to the principal. It's very easy.
It's also a lottery system. So no one, they're not just saying, oh, I have these 5 students, I'm gonna pick Caitlin and Catherine. No, it's a lottery system that they go through with the school of choice. And Destiny, if you're going to LSU, that means you're graduating May 9th? So ECA has 56 students that will be graduating this May 9th.
Thank you so much. And I'm sure ECA has a website as well.
Yes, they do.
Right, so you can Google ECA. Google is my best friend. Google ECA and you can find out much more information about the Early College Academy. So what I'd like to do now is take a short break, actually. There's so much information that we have in the back. I want to invite you all to visit those tables in the back. Peruse the information. There are some people back there who are willing to answer any questions that you might have. So feel free to visit the tables for more information on admissions, support programs, and other initiatives. So take 5 minutes to take a break, go and enjoy some of the refreshments. I think there is also like some additional food that they have also, brought to share, and take a short restroom break as well. So you have 5 minutes now to break. Okay, so we are going to get started with the second half of the program. I'd like to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is Mr. Vincent, or Representative Vincent Pierre. So Representative Vincent Pierre has a Bachelor's of Science in Marketing from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he is a graduate of the Holy Rosary Institute. Representative Vincent was born in Lafayette, Louisiana. He's got 3 sons, 2 of which are twins. They're 20 years old, and a 12-year-old son. Representative Pierre is a graduate of Holy Rosary Institute and a long-standing entity in the community and Southern University Baton Rouge campus. Representative Pierre, currently a member of the Louisiana Legislative Black Caucus, the Exploratory Committee for International Language Immersion School at ULL, the House Select Leadership Committee, the Committee on Hurricane Recovery, and the Legislative Bureau. That is a lot. He has served as the chairman. Okay, all right, well, I'll get right on to it then. He has served as the chairman with the Acadiana delegation, and in 2013 was the parade marshal. So Representative Pierre is committed to working towards economic improvement and prosperity of the community. During 2014 session, he is the creator, or during the 2014 session, the creation of the North Lafayette Redevelopment Board was appointed to address blighted properties and overall upkeep of District 44, and a host of other things. Let's see here. Currently, Representative Pierre is employed with South Louisiana Community College as a business development officer. He is passionate about growing our workforce by assisting businesses to offer relevant trainings to employees, as well as helping people to acquire the skills and the training necessary to enter into the workforce. So Representative Pierre has been such a valuable asset, not only to our community, but he has been such a wonderful representative to our church. He is our very own parishioner of Immaculate Heart of Mary. So let's give Representative Pierre a very warm welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for the individuals that hosted this committee. Aaron and your staff, where are you? Can you raise your hand? Aaron and the staff that has set up this whole, I want to thank you for bringing such outstanding program to this community. When I was coming up, guys, we didn't have this. We didn't have where individuals take time out of their lives to come and to give you information that we feel is important in today's life. And I want to thank this group and the Immaculate Heart of Mary whole organization that put this together. But I first want to thank Rachel and Caleb for the inspiring information that you just shared, and Adam about South Louisiana Community College. How many of you all every day or at some point have visited Chick-fil-A? And how many of you all can tell me what are the things that they say when they hand you your meal and you say thank you? What do they say to you? What do they say? My pleasure. And that's what South Louisiana Community College is all about. It's the pleasure of serving the students in our community. I started working at SLCC about 3.5 years ago. I never thought in my wildest dream, I've always worked in some kind of consumable goods where I sold products to various buying points. I never thought in my wildest dream that I'd be working to encourage and to instill in students today that education is very, very important. And what great organization I joined, and that's South Louisiana Community College, and the things that we are doing to ensure that you get the things that you need for education. As Rachel mentioned to you that we take you by your hand and walk you through the process. I don't know of too many universities, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time with a whole lot of them, that'll do just that. I came from a pretty large institution in Baton Rouge, and registration was a nightmare. Where will you go where a registration process that they will take you by your hand and give you everything you need to complete and to register in a program? Now, it's changed a lot in a lot of universities, but I can tell you this. South Louisiana Community Colleges, as I walk through that university or through that community college, you see it. You see people like Kayla talking to students about what are their needs and what do they want to do in life. You see Rachel working with these students, walking out her front door, asking them, what do you need in your financial aid and those kinds of things. And it means a lot, not only to me, but it means a lot about customer service, because we want to serve our students. And that's what we try to do at SLCC. So I want to thank you, Rachel, and thank you, Kayla, for your work. And Adam, I can't say enough. When I first started working at South Louisiana Community College, guess who trained me on the whole program? Adam trained me on corporate college. I knew nothing about college and the programs that was offered, and I would always go to him and say, Adam, can you help me? I don't understand what this means or what to do. And he would always say, I got it, Mr. Vincent, I will help you. This is just an example of the things that the school has done to ensure that people understand their system and what needs to be done on a day-to-day basis. So Adam, I just want to thank you, and I've never publicly thanked you for that. But listen, even folks my age just don't understand. With all the education I have, I didn't understand. And you just gave me what I needed to move forward. And that's the love that I have for this South Louisiana Community College. So Louisiana Community College has what we call a credit and a non-credit side, traditional and non-traditional side, okay? So you can get your 2-year diploma, 2-year associates, and you can go on and go to college and complete and get a bachelor's. Or for the adults, the non-traditional, folks that just don't know what they want to do, just want to go to work and try to find a job, then we have what we call corporate college. And that's the program that I'm employed with. Corporate college. Now, the corporate college is short-term training for long-term positions. So you can go to school at SLCC for 3 weeks or 6 months, depending upon what your choices are. What do you want to do? Short-term training for long-term positions. How many of you all know that at SLCC, you can go and take a class for 3 weeks and make $21 an hour? $21 an hour, where you can take this class, learn a trade, which is industry-based. We work with corporations. You are taught for 3 weeks. You go straight to work for these corporations, and you make anywhere from $17 to $21 an hour. And that is our basic scaffolding class, which is in New Iberia. So I mentioned basic scaffolding. We have commercial truck driving, welding, HVAC, carpentry, certified nurse assistants, and online healthcare are just some of the classes that are offered through this corporate training. How many of you all knew that SLCC offered that? How many of you all? No one knew that. Well, guess what? We are aligning ourselves with the industry, and SLCC is the place to go to get that training and certification. Right now, there are 20,000 truck drivers that are needed right here in the state of Louisiana. 20,000. We have a CDL program where you can go to school for 7 weeks, learn how to drive a truck, and make $50,000 to $60,000 a year just to learn how to drive a truck. Those folks that say, look, I want to do something, but I don't know exactly what I want to do, then I would tell you definitely to consider that program that we offer, and that's our CDL program. We also have a welding program, which is also on the short-term, non-traditional side, and we also have it on our traditional side. If you want to learn basic welding, you can go to our program, and you can learn our welding, how to weld, and learn the basics of welding. Then when you get on the job, then you learn how to do the actual welding that the job requires. We also have an HVAC program, 4 months to 6 months. This class, many years ago, used to be 2 years. Now we have it where you can go from 4 months and learn basic residential, or 6 months and learn commercial. Now, I know most of you know how hot it gets in Lafayette, in Louisiana. It gets real hot. So air conditions are running 24/7. They need folks to service it. And the old guy that we used to know, Mr. Joe down the street that we can call, he's no longer alive. So now we've got to find some folks that can do it. The other thing now versus the past is that you have to have a certification to buy what we call Freon. So you feel the cool air that's coming in here? It requires Freon to keep the air conditioner working, right? So we have to train you on how to repair an air conditioning unit, okay? 4 months to do residential, 6 months to do commercial. $30,000 to $40,000 the first year, and in excess of about $100,000 if you go to work for yourself. Those are some pretty good figures we're throwing out to you all. We also have the carpentry program, which is also a program that we brought back. And it's an individual that's a member of our church, Mr. Porter family. Some of you know the Porter family. They've been in construction work all of their lives. He's now teaching our carpentry program right here in St. Martinville. Short-term classes for long-term positions. You go on to the next slide. So we talked a little bit about the CDL. Move on to CDL. We talked about the welding and the course, how many weeks, and I have all the information because I think I'm going to take a lot of time if I try to read the entire PowerPoint. But we talked about the HVAC course. We talked about the basic scaffolding. I told you that's a 3-week program. You can make $17 to $21 an hour. The carpentry program I just mentioned is in St. Martinville, and then the CNA is one that a lot of folks, I was just speaking to this Shonda Moffitt, my son who just walked out, is a nursing student at McNeese. I require that he take the CNA program at SLCC, which is a $500 course, and right now SLCC is offering this class for free. CNA is Certified Nursing Assistants. I made him take that class. He said, Daddy, I don't want to do that. I don't think I want to do that. I want to go straight into nursing. I said, no, you're going to take the CNA class. And he did. When I tell you last year he called me, he said, Daddy, I am that far advanced than the students that I'm taking the nursing class with because you required me to take CNA. So if you have any inkling about getting into the medical field, consider that program, which is absolutely free at SLCC. Because why? Because the demand is so high. They need nursing, they need CNAs so bad in the nursing homes right now. The demand is so high to where they're paying full tuition for students to take that class. Full tuition. My son, Daddy, I'm gonna do it, went to work, always begging me for some money, always wanted some money for gas, whatever. He took the class, $9 an hour, it adds up. 2 weeks, worked time and a half, overtime, didn't have nothing to do, working for Mardi Gras, worked for all the holidays. A young man you don't have nothing to do anyway. Made a check for about $1,200 in the first 2 weeks. He didn't want me to know that. I just found that check stub in his back pocket. So I'm telling you that SLCC has short programs where you can make money real quickly. And I know I've got to go quick. So at any rate, we've got online healthcare courses for those individuals that don't want to go to school every day, sit out in the classroom and learn or whatever. If you're disciplined enough, then you can take an online health care class through SLCC, online healthcare, medical transcription, medical coding, pharmacy tech, or just to name a few. We have those classes that are available. How many of y'all, when you go to CVS and Walgreens, and you see the little ladies in the front that grabs your prescription and say, okay, sir, what's your name, date of birth, whatever, that individual is making $30,000 to $40,000 a year. Working at CVS, has gotten some certification in medical transcription and medical coding, and that's some good money. And that's just, you can get a certification in that. Maybe that's not something you want to do for the rest of your life, but you can take that class, get certified, and have that certification under your belt, so at any particular time you want to do something different, then you can always go back to doing pharmacy tech. So we offer those classes at SLCC. We have great programs. We have great people, the entire staff at SLCC. I can honestly tell you, when you walk there, when you walk through that college, it's like being at home. The community college is like being at home because they treat you so well. It's unbelievable how great our folks are there. So those are just some of the courses that we offer through the short-term classes. The tuition is a little different. Ms. Shonda's going to talk a little bit about the payment plans and how you can pay for those classes. And believe it or not, Workforce has ways in which you can pay for the classes where all you have to do is apply. We have those kind of programs. We have programs like if you've been in agriculture, if you work in the agriculture industry, for those adults that have done some kind of ag work that's full tuition paid. We have Louisiana rehabilitation programs, full tuition paid. So there's all sorts of programs, all sorts of ways in which you can pay for those classes. I have all the information on that back table, and Mr. Joseph Druid, would you please stand, who is also an employee of SLCC who works with me at our corporate college. And if y'all have any questions, y'all have some paper. I think Ms. Kalita gave you the information. If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And thank y'all, and thank you all for coming today on a Saturday morning to visit with us.
I'd like to ask you, you mentioned an acronym, HVAC, I think is what you called it. Can you share with the group what that stands for?
Sure. HVAC is air conditioning and refrigeration. Heating and air conditioned refrigeration. Okay? It's learning how to work on air conditioners, working how to work on freezers, refrigerators, those kinds of things. So that's what the HVAC means.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to share this with you all. Going to college is for a lot of people, but going to college is not for everybody. I'm speaking to those people. If you want to do something that will ensure that you will be able to live comfortably, to support yourself and your family, if college is not for you, please go to the back, get the information, ask the questions, because you can definitely utilize these programs and still make money and save money and go on vacations. Representative Vincent, thank you so much for sharing that information. And I feel like I have got to do, I got to do what you've done more justice. So I just want to share with you all a few more things about our very own Representative Vincent Pierre. So I'd be remiss if I would not acknowledge all the accomplishments that he has, because of the fact that this man grew up in our very own community. And if he can accomplish all of those things, well, I tell you what, I think that we can as well. So thank you for inspiring us. Just a few more things about Representative Vincent. He also represented us, okay, on the state level, where he served as a state representative for District 44. Representative Pierre, in addition to all of those other things, is currently committed to working towards economic improvement for our own community and prosperity in our own community and in Lafayette as a whole. So if you can, please, let's thank Mr. Representative Vincent Pierre for all of his hard work and dedication to our community. He also belongs to Alpha Phi Alpha. All right. Okay, so now we are going to move along. Now I'd like to introduce Miss Shonda Moffitt. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Good. Okay, Miss Shonda Moffitt is a native of Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, now. Currently, she serves as the Workforce Development Coordinator of the local Workforce Area Authority, where she oversees business and career solution centers in Lafayette and Vermilion parishes. These centers provide a range of employment, education, training, and related services and support to help job seekers secure good-paying jobs while providing businesses with the skilled workers that they need to compete in the global economy. Lafayette is growing so much. So Moffitt's career in the workforce development began in 2011, where she worked for the Lafayette Consolidated Government and as a temporary clerk with the WIB Workforce Investment Board recording secretary. She quickly worked her way up the ladder, moving into youth counselor position at Lafayette Business and Career Solution Centers. At this time, she managed the keeping of the youth trained and educated, which is called KITE, it's an acronym for KITE, program which assisted out-of-school youth with obtaining educational and employment opportunities. She has built a renowned reputation among the community workforce development board members and her counterparts across the state of Louisiana. In addition to her workforce career, Moffitt is a state of Louisiana licensed realtor at Keller Williams Realty of Acadiana. She is currently a member of the Real Estate Association of Acadiana and the National Realtors Association. Shonda specializes in property management, working with buyers, sellers, investors, and developers of residential properties. She also serves as co-owner, wow, of Chris's Concrete Works LLC, a cement contracting company where she and her husband, established over 18 years ago. She is also a Dream Team member at Our Savior's Church Midtown campus, where she serves in the music ministry. You sing, girl.
But I'm not gonna sing today.
Okay, we won't ask you. So, Ms. Moffitt possesses compassion and ambition to help those in need, which has led her to the workforce and real estate career. When she's not working, you can find her spending time with her husband, Christopher, her 5 children, and her mom. Please help me welcome Ms. Shonda Moffitt.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I also would like to thank Immaculate Heart of Mary just for having me here. I'm very honored and blessed to be here. This is a great program, and all the panelists that I'm working with this morning. So I wanted to talk to you all. As they mentioned, I am with Louisiana Workforce Commission, and I wanted to share with you all the different services that you can receive through the WIOA program, which is an acronym for the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. Have you all ever heard of the WIOA program in your community? No one? Well, this is the definition. It's a federally funded program which helps job seekers get connected with employers. It helps them with education program, with training, supportive services, and all of this is free of charge. This is actually the program that Adam got connected with when he first came into our offices and was able to enroll in education, and we assisted him with finding employment. The purpose, as it's mentioned, is to help people succeed in the labor market and match employers with skilled workers. Our offices are considered American Job Centers. We actually have 9 offices in 8 parishes. In 8 parishes, we're considered Region 4. Our offices are called the Business and Career Solutions Centers. And as it mentions, we provide a wide array of services. We're meeting the needs of the employers and the job seekers. To touch on some of the resources that we offer, one of them is the scholarship program, which is what Mr. Vincent mentioned today. We can help you get funding to assist you with your financial needs to enroll in these programs. We have funding for adults who are low income, adults who have been laid off from their job due to no fault of their own, and also youth or young adults who are interested in enrolling into education programs. We also have on-the-job training. If you're not interested in, like for example, some adults, they may have been laid off from their job and they're not interested in going back to school, but they would like to acquire a skill. We've partnered up with employers who will allow that individual to come in and be trained on the job. We will reimburse that employer up to 50% of their salary so that they can receive that skill on the job. And like it says, it's based on the eligibility requirements. In our offices, we also give priority of services to those who are veterans. We have retired veterans who are employed in our centers to provide those services to them. And what we mean by priority of services is that if we have a veteran who is interested in enrolling in an educational program, the majority of our programs are first come, first served. On a first come, first served basis, their application gets pushed up as our preference. If there's a limited amount of seating in our centers and there's not a computer available, we actually have special computers set aside for our veterans. It's just a full array of priority of services that are offered to them. In addition to that, you can come to our offices and apply for the services that are listed here, because we are gold partners with the Department of Child and Family Services. We like to consider ourselves a one-stop shop where you come in and apply for jobs. You can apply for financial assistance and also public assistance, which consists of the SNAP program, the Child Care Assistance, Kinship, FITAC, and disaster food stamps. This is our website, www.louisianaworks.net. It's pretty much what you're doing is registering. You receive a username and password. That is what allows you to become a member. When you're a member, you're welcome to come into our centers. As I mentioned, we have 9 offices, and you can come in, use our computers to search for jobs, use our computers to apply for these educational programs. We also assist with resume prep, with interview skills, just teaching you what is required so that you can be successful in your job seeking needs. One of our other areas is our target population is our youth. Our youth services are for those individuals who are ages 16 through 24 who are out of school, ages 14 through 21 who are in school. And these are the different elements that are available to an individual who qualifies with that eligibility as a youth. The tutoring, alternative school offering, which is considered adult ed or Job Corps. We offer educational preparation. We also share labor market information. Sometimes our youth don't even know what's high demand occupation, so we're able to pull that up and share that information with them. We offer paid and unpaid work experiences, which is what Adam enrolled in when he came to our center. We got him connected with SLCC through our work experience program, where we was able to pay the employer to hire him and train him in an occupation. And as a result, he's still there today. We offer financial literacy, teaching the youth how to save money, how to balance a checkbook, the importance of budgeting and things of that nature. Leadership development opportunities. We have community service and outreach efforts for our youth, entrepreneurship skills, adult mentoring, comprehensive guidance and counseling, supportive services. To touch a little bit on our supportive services, what we offer in that aspect, I think, Adam, you were able to receive the supportive service of transportation assistance. A lot of our youth, they don't have the means to get back and forth to school or work. We were able to provide a stipend for every day he was transported, either by a family member or if he drove his own vehicle. We paid him every day that he went back and forth to work or to school to reimburse his gas mileage. So that's one of our most popular supportive services, and there's so many more. In addition to that, we follow up with our youth for 12 months because we want you to be successful. Once you've completed whatever your goals and you've obtained your whatever credential you were working on, or if you've entered employment, we follow up with our youth for 12 months. Just checking on them, getting updates on what their current status is, if they need additional services, being that mentor and making sure that they're not walking through this journey alone. To touch a little bit on our youth employment program, we're about to kick it off. In fact, we're accepting applications. As it says here, it starts on May 28th. We're looking to enroll youth during the summer months. They're going to start at earning $8 per hour, and it's for 10 weeks of employment. So if you come to our centers, you register as a member, enrolled in our youth program. This is a great start to lead you to the career path to where Mr. Vincent can help you with getting enrolled in either his programs or either Ms. Rachel or Ms. Kalita. You start off in employment during the summer. After the summer, you're going back to school, you finish that education. We provide all that financial support to you. And these are some of the skills that you learn. While you're in our program, we put you through workshops where we help you with career planning. We help you put together a resume. Have you all ever prepared a resume before? You have? Very good. Well, there's a lot of people who don't know how to prepare a resume, so we work with you on that. We teach you how to apply for jobs. Majority of everyone wants to receive an application online. We teach you the importance of completing that application thoroughly and just how to answer some questions so that your application gets through. Interview skills. How many of you have ever been on a job interview? How did you feel? Was that nerve-wracking? Yes, they are. They always are. Well, we help you with that as well. We set up mock interviews and just teach you the tips and the key points that you have to remember when you're interviewing. I'm 44 years old and I'm still nervous when I go in interviews. So it's natural, but the more you do it and the more you practice, it gets better. But yeah, we're able to help you with that as well. Job skills, the life skills, leadership skills, and all of that. There are some eligibility requirements, as I mentioned earlier. Our in-school youth, you have to be between ages 14 through 21. Out-of-school youth, 16 through 24. And you do have to have a barrier to employment, these are some of the barriers that we look at. These are our primary, really. Low income, basic skills deficient. We do provide you with an assessment to see what your academic level is. And if you test within this level, this is one of the other requirements. If you're a high school dropout or you were in a homeschool program, which is not really considered a dropout, but you're out of school. That's how Adam was eligible. He was in a homeschool setting. That's considered out of school youth. If you're homeless, if you're in the foster care system, if you're pregnant or parenting, that means male and female. If you are a youth offender, underemployed or unemployed. Those are some of the criteria that we look at to enroll in our summer youth program, or in our youth program altogether. There is an application online. If you go to acadianaopportunities.com, it's a very brief application. You're plugging in your name, information, your address, telephone number. It's very short. It's not going to ask you anything about your employment history. It's not lengthy. Once you fill it out and hit submit, that information goes to one of our youth counselors, which are housed at all 9 of our offices, and they will contact you to set up a time to interview you and provide you with an assessment to determine what your eligibility requirements are. And that's pretty much it. I do have some handouts at the resource table in the back. I have some trifold brochures that outlines all of our services. Yes, he's holding one up for us. I also have youth employment applications and a flyer that outlines our summer employment program. We have a question? Yes. You were. What is your name? Miss Pat Simon. Yes. Let me give you the mic because I'd like to hear from you.
But like I was saying, my name is Javen Alexander. I was actually a graduate from the HITE program at LCC. I went for culinary arts, graduated top of my class, 3.8 GPA average. But I had a question because I'm 27 now, and I wanted to go back to school. And I know during the program when I was going, like I said, Miss Pat and her husband was going through a lot of stuff at the time because her husband was sick, and kind of lost touch with the program after I graduated, and I never got no bids up or anything about anything like that. So I was also thinking about probably doing with Adam, probably try to go through there, but I don't really know how to start from that, you know. That's a question I really had.
Glad you asked because, as I mentioned, not only do we serve youth, but we also serve adults. So you would fall within the adult criteria. Come to one of our offices. Please grab a brochure in the back, and it has all of our addresses. We have 9 offices. So you would visit the center that's closest to where you reside. Fill out an application. We are, yes, we are. You're in Lafayette? Okay. So yes, fill out an application, and definitely we can help you with your career goals. I'm so glad that you asked. Any other questions? Well, that was our youth, but he would fall within the adult criteria. Adults are 18 till 100. Yes. Well, no, he's no longer eligible for kite because he did age out. Yes, ma'am. But we do have wonderful programs for adults. Like I mentioned, we have financial assistance, scholarships to help enroll in these programs that are at SLCC. Just to give you an example, if you're interested in one of these programs that Mr. Vincent mentioned, like CDL truck driving, I think the tuition is $5,000. We can pay for up to $5,000 of your tuition costs. If we pay after financial aid, so if you have expenses after financial aid has paid for the majority, we come in and we can pay for your books, for your supplies, for tools, for various testing fees. So, yes. Good. Yes. Yes. So yes, so it's very important that you stay engaged. Whenever you enroll, you are connected with a case manager. And so you do have to keep in touch with that case manager. They're gonna constantly contact you. They need updates because like I mentioned, it is a federally funded program. And in order for us to show that it's a success, we need to receive updates from our participants to send this to the state, which is what keeps us providing this service to our communities. You have another question?
For the teenager side, like the kids that are still in high school, before the job, can you give some examples of what type of jobs they usually end up doing?
Well, what we do, actually we have a business service team who has been out there recruiting businesses. A lot of the businesses that we try to target is that we wanted to line up with the career goals of the youth. But sometimes we can't find the exact match. And what it is really, it's a work experience. It's to expose them to various settings. So for example, if they're interested in becoming, let's say, a lawyer, there are so many different occupations that you can get into just to prepare you for that. We can teach you customer service. We can teach you how the importance of showing up to work on time. We teach you, that experience just teach you how to fill out timesheets, how to answer to an employer. And then again, like I mentioned, the financial literacy. Now you're receiving a paycheck. We can help you, show you how to budget, how to save money for your gas, or even to buy food or help your family. So that's mainly the summer. Now after the summer, we do want to pair them with something that will lead them in the career path that they're interested in obtaining. So if you have someone in mind that would probably fit our criteria, have them come in, and that's where we identify what their interests are. We can even find employers. If you know of an employer that is hiring, we can contact that employer and ask them to partner up with us to enroll our participants in those programs. Any other questions?
Well, we'll do a question and answer session.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. The deadline. Actually, they're going to continue to accept applications through the middle of June. It starts May 28th, so we may have some that starts later, but we're going to continue to accept applications because some of them may quit, in between, but we're going to continue to accept applications. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Moffitt. So we actually will have a few minutes for questions and answers. So you all were tasked early on to write down some questions. We'll take about 5 minutes in a little bit to allow you the opportunity to ask those questions. But before we even move on, I just want to share with you all that you heard a wealth of information today. If you want to go to college, you got a wealth of information about how to do that. If you want to get a trade, because if you don't go to college, you need a trade. You got a wealth of information about how to do that. You also got so much information about scholarships. In addition to that, Ms. Moffitt shared some wonderful information with you all about the youth summer program. $8 an hour, she said. I'm gonna let you all know that that's more than minimum wage. Take advantage of that. In addition to that, it is benefits on top of benefits. So it's a win-win. Why? Because you're getting paid to learn. She mentioned resume skills, interview skills. You know, your resume, your application, that's your first impression. That's the first impression that you make when you apply for a job. Someone doesn't see you, they see that application. And based on that application, they decide whether or not they want to hire you. You need to make sure that you know how to successfully, effectively, and professionally complete an application. Thank you all so much for the wonderful information that you shared. I learned a lot. And in addition to that, I am certain that these people have also got a lot of information as well. So what I'd like to do now is I would like to open up the floor for questions. I think we'll have about 5 minutes of questions. If you don't ask a question because you don't want to ask in front of everyone, it's okay. They may be able to stay behind for a little while. I'm not sure. There are also some tables in the back where you can get information and make phone calls on Monday, right? In order to be able to ask those questions that maybe you possibly didn't get a chance to ask today or didn't even think about today. So right now, I'd like to open up the floor to anyone who has a question. Now is your time to take advantage of these resourceful people and ask those questions.
Hello. The 10-week program in the summer, is it offered to kids that are in dual enrollment, or is it offered to anyone? Because they sent the application online, but they said it's targeted towards dual enrollment.
Who's your question for?
What program?
For dual enrollment.
What program, sweetheart?
The 10-week program during the summer.
Oh, the summer employment?
Summer employment.
The summer employment program? So you're asking if it's offered to dual enrollment students?
No, they said that it was for the dual enrollment students. We had got the application online at my school, but they said it's targeted towards those who are going to go to classes.
I'm going to get some more information from you because I'm not sure which application or information you're talking about. Our youth services is for anyone who fits within that eligibility requirement. What I would recommend is that you go to the website, complete the application, and a youth counselor will call you and set up an appointment with you to determine if you're eligible or not.
Thank you. What is your name, young lady? Anila, thank you so much. Okay, very good question, by the way. Questions. Now is your chance. Shamar, you got any questions?
I asked my question already.
Oh, okay.
Shamar will ask.
Okay.
She can, she can.
My name is Erica, and I'm not, I have 4 kids that my other sons are going to high school. And I'm trying to get out of high school to get up into the school or the service process of getting or not taking with medication. So I'm trying to get them to get interested in school. Very smart, but lazy. Another thing is, I've been out of school for 30 years, and I want to go back to school and get my nursing degree. How long is your nursing program? And what do I need to do to get in? Do I need to take an entry test? Is there a study guide? Or, because I've been out of school 30 years, and that I
Okay, so first let me address your son. So yes, by all means, we would love for him to attend SLCC. We do have a disability services department with the proper documentation. He would set up, the two of you would set up an appointment with Ms. Kimberly Lachine, and then you would determine what services are needed for him to attend school. Is it extended test taking time? Does he need a note taker? Okay. So then they would go on ahead and they would provide those services for him. But the first thing I would suggest you do is contact Ms. Lachine or take one of my cards and call me or email me on Monday, and I can put you in touch with her so that way we can get his services set up for him so that the way they're ready for him when he starts school. Now, for your the second part of your question, which nursing program are you interested in? Is it licensed practical nursing or is it registered nursing?
Licensed practitioner.
Okay, so I understand that you've been out of school for some time. What we would need for you to do once you put in your application is take what's called our AccuPlacer test. It's a placement test. It's not a pass or fail test. It's just a test that helps us determine where to place you in your classes when you first enroll. Once you take in the LPN program, you go on ahead and you apply. We will evaluate your application, see where you are, and then we can make that determination. Do you need to start in general studies so you can get some of those prereqs out of the way and then apply for the LPN program? Or do you have everything you need to go directly to the LPN program? But we help you with that. We'll walk you through that and make sure that you have everything you need. Once again, like I said earlier, you're not doing any of this by yourself. We will help you determine where you start in the program. So definitely.
And also on the website, as you can see, the AccuPlacer, if you go to our website, there's a wealth of knowledge there. And so you can actually, they should provide you with testing websites you can go to, like for math, purplemath.com. You can use Khan Academy. You can use YouTube. A lot of our students use YouTube to study for this test. Again, Ms. Rachel said, it's not a pass or fail. It's to see where you're at as of now.
But I'd rather have something to study, because then I won't have to take all those remedial classes. Yeah, but you went straight from high school. That's not good. I need some practice.
Yes, we do. There are some links on the website that will help prepare you to take the test.
And also,
No, I just wanted to add one other thing that a lot of our students appreciate about the AccuPlacer test. It's not time.
Okay.
It's not time.
And very cheap.
Yes, it is very cheap.
Oh, I have to pay for that?
Yes.
No more than
Don't leave
$12.
that
and Ms. Erica, I also wanted to piggyback off of the young ladies this morning. If you're interested in enrolling, also visit our office because we can assist you with some of that tuition cost.
I will call. I'll come see.
Please do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that question, Erica. I think these Career Connections series that we've been doing, they've been hosted on the AOC program. I'm going to encourage you to let your friends know to watch the program because the information shared here today is so important that the people in our community, not just us, are aware of these wonderful opportunities that are provided by the people in our community, the schools in our community. So I'm going to challenge you to share the information that you learn with the people that you surround yourself with daily because I think that this information would help a lot of folks. We have time for one more question. Okay, so here is one thing that I want to challenge you all to do. I want to challenge you before you leave here today to write a commitment down. What is one thing that you commit to doing as a result of what you learned today? So what is that one thing that you will commit to doing Monday morning as a result of what it is that you learned today, which will help you to reach your goals? The important thing about these types of events is not only that we come and we listen, but that we take action. Because we can come and listen and learn until we're blue in the face. But if we don't take action, it's worthless. So commit to something, and I challenge you to get up Monday morning and to put what you have learned into action. Thank you all so much for your time. I'm going to invite Erin, the coordinator of the event, to come on up and share some closing remarks with you all. Again, thank you for your time.
Thank y'all. Thank everybody for coming today. Thank you, first of all, for the panelists for coming through and coming strong and giving us some tools and information that we can utilize and share across the community. Thank y'all very much. I also want to thank the Career Connections Committee. It's not a one-man job. It's an army of folks that help to pull these events together. So if y'all could stand, I know y'all got recognized earlier, but this is critical because they help pull the program together. So thanks to the committee members. There's a lot of collaboration that goes on as we roll out these events. I also want to thank Mr. Ed Bowie from AOC, who is here. They volunteer their time to cover the events and allow us to share and use their platforms to collaborate. So thank you very much. I also want to give a quick opportunity to the National EMS Academy. Thelma Stelly is here, and she's going to provide a brief couple of minutes of what they all do there and give you some information and resources to check out before you head out today. So please welcome Thelma Stelly.
Very brief. I just want to give y'all an opportunity to know that Acadian Ambulance offers an Explorer program through the Boy Scouts, and it allows high school students from the ages of 14 to 20 to come ride on the ambulance with us, to actually go to festivals with the medics and be part of the first responders. Really good opportunity. We have a lot of the information at our table when our next meetings will be. And also about the EMT Academy, which is affiliated with the SLCC. And if you want any information about that, it's a 3-month course, and it's kind of the traditional and non-traditional classes. We also have a paramedic class that you can try to get your associate's degree in applied science. So that's 2 really good offers for you guys if y'all want to come to our table. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Thelma, and thank you, Brittany, as well. Please go and check out their resource table at the conclusion of the program. We have a couple more announcements, so please bear with me. We're going to get through this, and I'll let you enjoy the rest of your weekend. But next up, I want to welcome the leader of the Junior Daughters Youth Ministry here at Immaculate Heart to make an announcement. Tyra Hamilton.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing today? First off, I would like to thank this wonderful panel. All the information was very informative. I would like to thank the council for inviting the junior daughters to come out and experience this. At this time, I would like all my junior daughters to stand up to be recognized. I would like y'all to thank y'all for coming out and showing support and getting the information that will be needed for y'all future. Excuse me with the let's see. We are doing a raffle for our junior daughters. We're going to National Convention in July, and we're raising money. So back there are some beautiful baskets that were made by me. There are $2 for 1 chance, and there are $5 for 3 chances. So if you want to take a gander and look at it, it would be very appreciative. And that's all I have. Thank y'all for letting me speak. And thank y'all.
And just so you know, there's some good prizes. The first prize is a $500 basket. The second prize is a $175 basket. And the third prize is a $75 bracelet. So please take a chance, and hopefully one of you will be lucky. A couple more announcements. The Greater Southwest Black Chamber of Commerce will host their 19th annual Trailblazer and Scholarship Gala on Friday, May 3rd. Tickets are $55 through Ticketmaster, and our very own community leader from Macomb Vise Coterie, Tina Bingham, will be honored as the Outstanding Young Adult Trailblazer And Louisiana's very own Denise Boutte will be the keynote speaker. Doors open at 6 o'clock and the gala begins at 7, so make sure you check it out. Another event on Saturday, April 20th, that's next week, they will be holding a citywide annual Easter egg hunt. It's a free event in Hyman Park. They're seeking both monetary donations as well as baskets and bikes to hand out to the kids to ensure that everyone leaves with something. So please go and check out that event right down the road. And the next event, 100 Black Men is accepting nominations for Father of the Year. So if I see some fathers out in the crowd, mothers and daughters and sons, please go out and make some nominations. You can submit your nominations to Black Men of Greater Lafayette through their website. And nominations, the deadline for nominations is Friday, May 3rd. 4 honorees will be chosen and recognized as the 6th annual Father of the Year banquet on Friday, June 14th at the Cajun Dome Convention Center. So a lot going on in the community, a lot of information. Please take the time to support each other and make those connections and get involved in the community. And thanks for coming today. We really appreciate that. We hold this event 4 times a year. Our next event will be on Saturday, July 20th. From 10 to 12, and that will focus on financial education and financial literacy. So when you go and make your $50,000 for trucking, or when you go and make your money in scaffolding and things, it teaches you how to make your money work for you. We can go and buy these things. I know I spend money when I have it on fruitless things here and there, but showing you how to make your money work for you so that you can uplift the community. Thanks again, everybody, for coming, and we hope to see y'all in July.